Yeah, I'd like you to come up and explain your journey of launching your project, your business, how, because for those of you that don't know, Jeff went from 0 to 100 in about 15 minutes. And he's grabbed a hold of this and ran with it, and he is kicking ass at it. I mean, I watch his videos, I see his actions all over the place. And he's always in the chat giving me shit. So, here you go, Jeff.
How's everybody doing? Still hanging there on a Sunday afternoon? Yeah. All right, for those who don't know me, I'm Jeff Pinnacle, otherwise known as LitecoinLeader. Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit about Litecoin Leader, how that came to be, what my journey was like, and also how the business was built, both in the logistics of how I built it, and also the mechanics, but also how this event really accelerated that. Because I think what people want to hear is, how did somebody do it? Now I will tell you this, it's going to be unique to what you're doing, but I will tell you this, I've been in crypto for 5 years, but I wasn't always Litecoin Leader. Right? Some of you do know that. I was someone else when I first met Ben over a year ago, and I had a different name. It was called Crypto Jefe. Is that right? So Jefe means boss, and it's also Jeff sometimes in Spanish. So I'm like, okay, this will work. Well, I put it to the Bitcoin Ben test. Crypto Jeffy? Crypto Chiefy? Okay, this isn't gonna fly. All right, so after I got done with that, I went and rebranded to Litecoin Leader probably about 8 months ago. And the reason I tell people that is because everybody knows who I am now. But I built that brand in 8 months, not 5 years, 8 months. That was exactly what Ben talked about. I was everywhere. I still am. Telegram, I'm on the channels, I'm talking, people know me, Tom knows me, Tournament knows me. Everybody here has seen me. The good mornings are ridiculously long on Ben's show. It's like good morning this, good morning that. Everybody saying hi to one another. This is community. But once I was blessed by the fact that I had a brand and a name to start from and start with. But I will tell you that when you're starting your journey on this, one of the key things you've got to really develop is what is your name and establish your brand. You need a sequence of how to do these things. We can talk all about what Kelly talked about, which is fantastic, what Ben, what Lori added. I think everything is here. All the pieces are here. But you need to know how to put them together to get to your journey. So part of my other career was as a program manager who helped me to plan things. So what I did was I said, all right, I did the Zoom event back in January, my Zoomers, and I met a lot of good people here. And I said, they were telling me, you need a website, you need to be on YouTube. Ben's telling me you need YouTube. But I didn't want to rush into things. I wanted to get things in the right sequence. So I said, okay, I drew a line in the sand. I said, all right, next event is in April. Where do I want to be in April? I said, I want to have a website, I want to have the LLC, I want to have business cards, I want to have all these certain things, and I just made a list. And I knew going in, because I've been married before, so the list never gets done. So you make the list, and you're okay, the list won't always get done, but at least it gives me a checklist of things to focus on. And a goal, and I write down my goals, and this will sound strange to you until you actually do it and see that it works. Write down your goals on a piece of paper and hang it up somewhere you see it every day. It sounds crazy, but subconsciously it will sink in. Like you hear things 5 or 10 times, it starts sinking. Hang it up somewhere, put it on your mirror. It doesn't have to be like that detailed, but it should be. Anyone ever hear the term SMART goal? Ever heard that before? It's strategic, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Have those 5 things. Like I want to have a YouTube channel by April 1st. That covered them all. So that's kind of things I wrote down. So by having those goals, and my goal was by the April event to have the website, to have everything, and I started like, okay, here's what I want to do. How am I going to accomplish these things? So that's where I started to work with Ben and this network and these incredible people that this event introduced me to by meeting Diddy, Daddy, Justin. I can name tons of people here, but I found really good people to help me on that journey. I knew what I could do well. It's like, I can speak, I can talk, I'm knowledgeable. Fortunately, I'm blessed with those talents. I'm not a web developer, I'm not this, I'm not that. I need to find people in the community that will complement. And then I will spearhead that. But one person I really want to point out today is Joanna. So Joanna, can you step up? Can you stand in up, please? So, this is Joanna. She's one of my founders. She put together my website. I said, here's the keys, take care of this for me. And she did an amazing job. And because I knew that wasn't my strength, I surrounded myself with complimentary people. So I had a plan, and I had complimentary people to get there. And that led me to like, okay, now I need to build my YouTube channel. And everybody was begging me to get YouTubes and video. You have so much knowledge, get it out there. So like, okay, I will do that, but I wanted to do it right. So I spent time on finding the right introduction, figuring out the right software to use, all these different ways. And I'm in the middle of so many other things going on too, because I moved from Maryland to Myrtle Beach in the middle of all this. So I got that going on, resetting my life to a new state. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, I want to shoot a YouTube video in the middle of a rental place I don't even know what lighting is like. So, but I did, and I launched it, and it started to come out well, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. But by having that and having certain things in mind, it gave me a sequence. So by having a YouTube channel, I was able to make a business card and take a clip from my YouTube channel to be consistent branding and make it on my business card. So now when they see this, and they say that this is very succinct, not a whole lot of information on my business card, but it's just a lead behind, say, hey, LitecoinLeader.com. I've got a brand, and I make it very easy for people to reach out to me. If you can remember Litecoin Leader, you'll find me on .io, it's my YouTube site. .com is my website, and that's my name on Instagram and Telegram. Very simple, very consistent branding. You won't get everything right. You will have lots of things to do when you leave here, and you'll feel overwhelmed. Don't be. Write them all on a list, and have a conversation with someone who's done it, either myself or Ben or other people in this room. There are plenty of them that will help you, and say, here's what your action plan needs to be, because it's all individualized. Okay, your journey is going to be yours. I mean, Jim Flanagan can help, I can flow. Everybody that does the consulting part, we can all help. But I will say this, I am going to put a special meeting available onto my calendar for all founders to reach out to me and have a conversation about your business and how to get started. And I'll put it at a special rate just for you guys that I will spend an hour with you guys if you want it, and just sign up on my calendar. And if not, call me and we'll make time, right? Because part of this is giving back to the community, because once I had my plan, my action plan, and everything to move forward with, I was able to clear up my mind and my thought process. That's my channel. Recognize that music anywhere. And make it memorable too. Like I could recognize, like I knew that was my channel in like a half second. So, but have a plan, work your plan, and set realistic goals. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. Doesn't have to be free. I'll join the Chamber of Commerce by the next meeting. I will do this by the next meeting. These meetings are actually on a relatively good time frame to like, I want to do this, this, and this by October, and see how far you get. I wanted to launch my website by the April meeting and have the YouTube channel. I was three weeks ahead of schedule, thanks partly to Joanna, but parts other things that came along. Once you have those pieces of structure together, the world will open up for you. The people in this room are your network and your family. They will help you. They all want you to succeed. Justin does, Laurie does, everyone here does. And by knowing those people and what they can afford to your business and to move you along will accelerate the process. And you'll get phone calls you won't expect. I really believe in karma. Anyone else? Oh, yeah. All right. So recently, when I established my new residency in South Carolina, I was able to, oh, right, I could actually go get my passport renewed because I didn't know where to mail it to. So I did that. The day I mailed it in, I got 2 invitations to go to foreign countries, one to Ecuador. I had a phone conversation, and like I heard a sentence that was, are you interested in meeting the president of El Salvador? My first thought was, that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear. But this is my new reality. I accept it. And here's another one. Don't be afraid to say yes. Ben asked, he left. He's smoking somewhere. He asked me all kinds of stuff. He's like, you want to talk today, tomorrow, whenever? I'm flexible. Say yes. You want to go to Utah and speak? Yes. One time I told him no, which is like, I think it was on a Wednesday. He said, you want to host a 3-hour business meeting tonight for 3 hours? And I'm like, I don't know the software. It's 3 hours from now. I have plans. All right, I'm going to say not yet. I won't say no. I'll say not yet. So get no idea your vocabulary. Just say, I'm not ready for that. Tell them why you're saying not yet. Because later, Ben's like, oh, you want to know the software? When I come out to St. Louis, which we've talked about already, he's going to teach me. And I'm like, I'll probably do these backup posts for that show. I'll say yes. But the point is that this is a great community. There's a lot of things that are available to it, and I have a lot to give back. And I'm thankful for being in that position to be able to do that. So I established my website, I established my brand, I established a fun way to teach people about altcoins, which is kind of my strength. So I know, people come to me all the time, that was the kind of the game, they're like, oh, check out this coin. And I was like, oh yeah, I know that coin very tasty, and that's spreadsheet metals, and you got an SEC. I'm like, they're like, all right, we can't stop them. I give up, I can't stop them there. So I created this game on my website called Altcoinopoly. Has anyone else heard of it? Yeah. Okay, so is everyone familiar with this game board? For those in the front, I'm sure you can see it. Okay, so again, karma. I was thinking about how is a good way to teach people that a good portfolio of coins is roughly about 25 to 35 coins, and that's about a good manageable size, and what my portfolio, an example portfolio might be. So I was telling Joanne and a few other people, and I was in the Telegram chat, and one person happened to say, oh, you don't have Polkadot yet? That's like not owning Boardwalk. 3 hours later, in the middle of the night, I woke up and said, that's a brilliant way to explain this game. So what I decided was, I went through the board and I said, there's 35 spaces on here that are game spaces, that not just dead space, like jail or whatever. And I made a video, or planned to make a video, for every one of those spaces to explain a coin. And that is the game called Altcoinopoly. Also, we got altcoinopoly.com, so we spread that one, right? But we got that covered. But I've released 30 of the 30, well, I recorded 30 of the 35, I think 2 have been released, but in any event, I've gotten 30 out of 35 coins recorded and available, and more than half are free on my YouTube channel, LitecoinLeader.io. But the subscribers to my site, for 20 bucks as an entry-level subscriber, before the end of July, you have access to all the coins, and all you have to do is watch the video and write down which coin goes in which space. And then mail in a picture of this, and somebody in August is going to win a trip to the Myrtle Beach meetup. So a trip for up to 4 people in the continental US that's coming out to Myrtle Beach. We're doing a meetup. I don't know when it is yet because I got to talk to Leonard. Probably between Labor Day and Memorial Day. And we're going to have a meetup, and it's going to make it, but you got to make it fun. You make it entertaining. I think this is a fun, entertaining way to teach people about the different coins and what's going on out there. So you have to make, whatever your strengths are, you play to them. I've been blessed being able to be a pretty good communicator. I've done video, radio before in different fields. I've done real estate, I've done football writing, I've done other things that have put me in the spotlight before, so I can leverage that talent and complement with the rest. So that is what this team here can all do for you. So one thing that Joanne and I talked about, and I'm going to put her to work a little bit extra for this, but we talked about building our community a little bit stronger. And we're going to make a page on LitecoinLeader.com, free for everybody. If you're a founder, we'll put your business on there. Create the record, and then you can put it on your site. I don't even care about hosting it. I just want it to be somewhere. So now you know, I want to know who's in New Mexico. I want to know who's in Wyoming, who's in California, who's in this, who knows about real estate, who's about that. Time will give. Did you know that Joanna does websites? Did you know that Dylan does websites? Did you know that Justin is a whiz at IT and help you? You know David Daddy, of course you know David Daddy, it's you did, that's his name. But all these people that have their strengths, that we all network together and we build this trust with one another, like we can help each other out. That's part of the point of what we're doing here, is we're building a community to help one another. So get in contact with me or Joanna and we'll put you on the site. And we'll make the directory free for anybody that wants to know, I want to know who's in St. Louis or who's in Missouri or who's in Wyoming or who's in Washington, whatever, so we can start doing it. Joanna?
And we want it backlinked. So when I create your website, whoever gets your website, we want to do the backlink thing. So that way, if you're on the first page of Google, you're on the internet. So look how many people are here. This is a lot of backlinks.
Yes, so she's talking about backlinks, which is a big thing. She knows about it more than I do. That's why she does my website, and I don't. But I think that's really important. And I think that Ben talks about the network effect. We need to leverage the network effect. In this room, there's a lot of talent. You just don't know how you add to the puzzle yet. You all do. It's either by helping your community or helping this community or both. The circle you travel with is who you become. So you're all here now for a reason. So that was a lot of my journey. As far as the mechanism from April to now and what it's afforded me, since I got ahead of schedule and I had my YouTube and my website, got the contest running, I know the recipe now, I just have to make my videos and just keep turning the crank. That has afforded me more opportunities. I've gone and spoken in at least 3 or 4 states now since March. I met Dippy Daddy and his lovely family, I think he's doing an interview right now because he's too popular as well. But this is a shout out to his daughter Abigail. She's gonna be thrilled that I'm mentioning her. But Abigail actually came in with a business opportunity. But of course, being the daughter of Dippy Daddy, she wants 70% control of the opportunity. So we're in negotiations. We haven't lawyered up yet, but we're getting there. But we could see probably the youngest person I've ever seen on a YouTube video for crypto, who could be the 10-year-old who rescued some data for someone. So don't be surprised. But between that and the conversations about going to El Salvador or Missouri or California or whatever we're speaking, and just all I have to do is get back. The hard part for me is figuring out what to impart on people and what do they want to hear. So I don't know how much time I have left, but I bet it's about 10 more minutes. So I would love to do some Q&A. I don't want to just dictate what you guys hear from me. I want to know, what do you guys feel in the room that you want to be one of the 2 coins used for currency when the banks fail? I think it's going to be Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. And it's just those 2. Those are the ones that are built for me for transaction. They've been top 10 forever. Bitcoin Cash has been around since 2017 and they've worked. I think both of those, and there's plenty of room in that area for both to grow a lot. Sir.
So, if you don't mind letting us know what was like your full and out of pocket if you were at today? Ballpark.
That's a good question. What was my out of pocket? The question was my out of pocket expense to get where I was? Well, I had to pay for LLC, I had to pay for a website. I would say I'm probably, between the consult calls and everything else, I would say roughly 10 grand max. But I got a lot of that back for some consult calls or subscribers. So it's kind of, I'm like in a net neutral position, and so I pay for a trip to Myrtle Beach, but that's okay. Right. For me, I mean, some people told me like, oh, you're shooting too big. Shoot high with your goals. Shoot high with your goals. If you fall short, you still did a pretty damn good job. Yes, sir.
For someone looking to diversify their portfolio a little bit more, would you say that your altcoin monopoly is a good way to look at it or start from?
He was not paid to be here, but he did ask an excellent question. Yeah. He said, if you're looking to diversify, with your off monopoly game would be a good way to figure out the diversification. Not financial advice, hashtag NFA, for those who know me. But yeah, I would say that. And then I also added a feature on the coins where I'm now like Dippy Daddy came up with this idea where he's like, we need to know like what your rating is. So now there's a rating of each coin. So you can take all 35 coins and rate them and rank them by and if you only want to be in 15, you just take the top 15. But that's not financial advice, that's just something I would tell a friend. Yes, sir?
I noticed in the chat the other day that you were somewhat cool on Ethereum. Okay? And like, what? No, so I'm just curious as to, what your thoughts are on that you can disclose.
I think the Ethereum discussion is well worth having. Some people will say, for every argument I've heard about the positive of Ethereum, I have a negative. I think you need to hear both sides to really understand where they're at. So I hear like, oh, Ethereum, they're going to stake, and like, well, what are the miners going to do? Do we have a story for that? Not really. Ethereum's been delayed. Ethereum 2.0 has been delayed nearly a year, and we don't have a new date yet. Are you concerned? Yes, I'm concerned. What about all the developers that are on there? I'm like, where do you put the people to work if there's problems? I think they have lots of workers because there's lots of work to do. So I think they're still figuring a lot of things out. And that's why Cardano, Polkadot, and all these other platforms that are coming out there, they're like, hey, you can port this over to Theta or Zilliqa and work there, and our code is compatible, just come on over. Because that is why, I mean, the coins that have done well in the last 6 months are the coins that are competing as an alternative or a secondary effect, like the layer 2s with Ethereum. So to answer your question, I have some misgivings about Ethereum. I do. I think that it's almost by default that it's so high because people need it to transact in a lot of wallets, and it's a use coin. But if we didn't need to use it, there might be a better way, a different way.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first, for someone who has never done a YouTube channel, what, take us into starting a YouTube channel, what you need, what equipment you need, you know what I mean? Like, how do you go about starting a YouTube channel?
Question is how to start a YouTube channel. And I would say that it depends on everyone. I don't want to be a lawyer or anything, but it really depends on how you feel about it and how comfortable you are. You may not even want to or need to launch a channel, but it's worth trying. So as far as the equipment you need, a laptop with a camera and a microphone. You work the rest out later. Have good content. Don't like, I paid like $50 or so to get an intro and build one myself, or tailored. I didn't build everything. I tailored it. I bought one and tailored it to my website, and then I sliced it up to make little like segments. And then I film my stuff. On, like my first month, I was like sitting underneath the chandelier on boxes, recording on a laptop. I was just getting content out. So it wasn't about high production level. All my videos I make entirely myself, and I'm kind of proud of that. But I do hear good feedback. Like I heard great feedback earlier today. My intro's a little long. Might want to shrink that down for better hits. I'm like, okay, that's good advice. So if you keep your mind open, things improve. You get yourself out there, and then things develop after that. The hardest video to make is the first one. Then the second one is the next hardest, but it's easier than the first. The third one is twice as easy as the first and second combined, and they'll be that much better. So just a continual improvement. Make the first video is the hardest one to make, and just keep improving.
Hey, for those of you that have never had a long, detailed conversation with him, don't do it. Because he'll educate you, and I mean, you'll get a ton of knowledge, but unlike me, I know when to stop talking.